Okay, so I'll do a few more examples then. This time I'll use a slightly different approach because the first video already has lots of examples, but if I just did the exact same thing again, that probably wouldn't help, because if the first video didn't help, then just more of the same is unlikely to be useful. So I'll use a slightly different approach for these ones. In fact, you might see that I've written the question out twice, because hopefully at least one of the ways I show you will make sense to you. First of all, thank you for letting me know that you did question 1 and question 2 okay. That's useful information, because I know that you can do the basic skill, like you know how negative numbers interact, but now I know that what was confusing you was the particular style of question, rather than something more fundamental than that. Right, let's go ahead and look at these then. When it's written like this with brackets around it, what I'm basically saying is I want to do all of this stuff, take away all of this stuff. So this minus sign is affecting both of these. This 2x is being subtracted from whatever's over here. This y is being subtracted from whatever is over here. So the brackets lump everything together, and this minus controls all of this in here. If you could do questions like number 2, well, we could use that idea. We could say, okay, I've got 16x take away 2x. 16x take away 2x. That was like one of the questions you did. 16x takes 2x. Hopefully you know that that comes out as 14x, positive 14x. I've also got here 3y take away 1y. Okay, 3y take away y, you can write that with 1 if you like, because remember I'm taking away everything that's in here, and you should know that 3y take away 1y is 2y, positive 2y, so the final answer is 14x plus 2y. That's my final answer to this first question here, and I've laid it out in such a way to make it look like the early questions in question number 2. All right. Now, if you don't like that approach, I could give you a third way of doing it, because I gave you a particular way in the video, the first video. I've just shown you another way of laying it out here. But if you don't like that, there's even another way you could do it. You could think about expanding brackets. You know how to expand brackets, so we could make use of that algebra. There is an invisible 1 here. Okay, just like I inserted a 1 here, because y on its own means 1y, a bracket on its own means one copy of the brackets. All right, so I could just do, let's start by leaving those alone, and let's just multiply out the brackets. Minus 1 times 2x is minus 2x, and minus 1 times y is minus 1y. So I haven't worked out the question yet, I've just expanded the brackets, and you'll see now how this minus has, the posh word is distributed, it's affected both of these. And now this is a question like you said you were able to do already. This is like the later part of question 2. So let's finish it off. 16x take away 2x is 14x, and 3y take away 1y is positive 2y. Positive, so I put plus in the middle. Okay, so there's 2 different ways of doing that type of question. If I go on now to the ones with that are lined up in columns, very, very similar idea, and in fact I'll show you the same type of dual approach. Okay, so what I've got here, if I ignore completely, if I use my ruler for a moment, if I ignore completely what's on the right here, it's the same as before. It's just like the beginning of question 2. You've just got 5x plus 2x, and that's nothing harder than 7x. All right, and then if I can put my, I can't do it with a ruler, let's cover it up with a pen or something. There we go. It just about works. Cool. So again, this is like a question that you had earlier on. This just says 2y, positive 2y, plus negative 2y. Positive 2y plus negative 2y. Well, 2 add minus 2 is 0. You can write plus 0 or plus 0y if you like. But if it's 0, we don't normally write anything. Okay, 2y add minus 2y, 0. So I'm not going to write anything there. So the final answer to those 2 terms added together is that. It's just 7x. And if you wanted to do the same kind of approach that we did for the question before, I could rewrite all of this if I really wanted to. I'm not saying this is a good idea, but you might like to. So 5x plus 2y, take away one lot of, plus 1 lot of 2x minus 2y. Let's expand the bracket, so leave this bit alone. 1 times 2x is 2x, 1 times minus 2y is minus 2y. And so now this is the same as like at the end of question 2. 5x plus 2x, 7x, 2y, take away 2y, nothing. Okay, last one then, same idea as before. If I cover this up, you can see that we'll do this one first. So 4x, take away 4x, nothing. You can write 0 if you want to, but 4x take away 4x is nothing. And then this is a little bit harder because there's more minus signs. So this is now minus 8y, take away another 3y's. Okay, so minus 8, take away positive 3, should go down to minus 11. That's minus 11y. No x's, but minus 11y's. If I want to write that out the other way that we talked about, I could write this as 4x take 8y, and I'm taking away all of this, 4x plus 3y, all of it's, everything on the bottom's being taken away from everything on the top. Let's expand the brackets, so leave this bit alone. That's minus 1 times 4 is minus 4, and minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. This is now like you had at the end of question 2 once again. So 4x take away 4x is nothing, and if you start with minus 8y, you take away 3 more y. That's minus 11y. So hopefully something I've said there is useful to you. I've deliberately tried to do different methods to what I did in my original video, because now you've seen 3 ways of doing each of these. The one in my original video, and I've shown you 2 ways for each of these questions. Hopefully at least one of those is useful to you. Okay, good luck.